John from Ollie's blog, and we are talking to Jessie James. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I am great. So I everything must be really exciting now. It's been almost a year since your debut has been released. How does it feel to have had your album release, and how has your life changed since?
Oh goodness. It hasn't changed too much. Nothing like that drastic. But I've just been working really hard for the next album to make it just a little different than the first one. That way, there's something different for the fans and for the listeners. But it hasn't changed too much. I've just been working hard, still doing music and still doing what I love, and I'm still living in Nashville. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just to have an album out there and have tons of fans listening to it. I mean, that must just feel great alone.
No, that definitely is. And to be honest, it sometimes I don't look at it that way. And I know that the album is out there. Sometimes when I go to the store and I see the album, I'm just like, whoa, it really is out there. But sometimes I just don't look at it that way. I still get very, very surprised and excited about it, and I still get like confused in a way, like it's happening.
I mean, I think it's good to stay that way. It keeps you grounded.
Yes, I definitely do. There are so many people in this town who just get a teeny tiny little bit of fame, and they're just not the same person anymore. And I really don't see myself, being that way.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's great. And now you're getting ready for your second album, and you have your first single out, "Boys in the Summer."
That's right.
And let's talk about the new album. What can we expect for the new effort?
Well, it is a great record. I am so over the moon about it. I finished it in about 3 or 4 months. It happened really fast. I wrote the first song, and the first song I wrote was "Boys in the Summer," actually. And I wrote that back in, I think, March. And then everything was done. I just finished it and mastered it last week. But on the record, it's so fun. It's a fun record. Everything on there is just a feel-good kind of vibe. I mean, it's one of those songs you want to put in your car and just throw down the windows, or you want to get ready to when you're going out. It's just really am proud of it and everything. There's nothing, there's probably one sad song there, a couple sad songs, and there's some ballads, but the rest of the record, it's just so happy and happy about life and about meeting new boys and just having a good time. I'm just so proud of it.
Oh, well, that sounds great. I love when there's like a mixture of, but there's also a lot more that you can enjoy, opposed to maybe get a little sad about.
Yeah, nobody wants to have a negative record. I just can't stand listening to sad stuff all the time. And every single song, I played it for some of my girlfriends when I was in LA, and every single song, they just, oh my God, this one's so cute. I mean, just every single one of them, they loved it.
Oh, that sounds great. Can't wait. Now, I know you've worked with a lot of people for the record the first time around. Have you worked with any new people or any collaborations for the second album?
Um, I kept it really small this time. Just because the first record had so many different people on it, I just feel like it was just kind of all over the place and a little messy. And this record, I kept it pretty small. The only new people that I worked with that I'd never met before or knew was the first single, "Boys in the Summer." I worked with James Michael, and he's a songwriter. And but other than that, I was really familiar. I worked with Sarah Diagordi again and Mitch Allen, and I worked with this guy, Blair and JT. Now, I'd never worked with him on the first record, but Blair and JT wrote "Smile" for Uncle Kracker, and I had never, I'd worked with him, but not for this record before, and so that was a lot of fun, and we've actually written about 5 songs, so there's a lot on the album that I've done with those guys, and they're great, and yeah, I mean, I was pretty familiar with this. At this point, I wanted to make sure it was kind of a smaller group of people I'd worked with. That way we could get down to business, because when you write with new people, sometimes it takes a couple days to get to know them. I don't just go and sit down and write a song. I have to really know the person first before I start writing and pretty much pouring out my diary.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is that way for me.
Well, so do you think this album is leans more towards the pop side of things, or country, or is it pretty much pop country?
I, there's some songs in there. There's a couple songs in there that are just straight up country songs. I'll be honest with you. I mean, to the country world, they're gonna think they're pop country, but to pop radio, they wouldn't. I don't think they'd touch it.
Yeah.
There's a couple songs like there's a song called Gentleman that is very very country. If you ask me, it's very Shania-esque kind of song. And there's a song called Pretty that's kind of a mid-tempo that's a pretty little southern song. And I mean, there's just a couple, but then there's a song, called Don't Cry and Get on the Dance Floor. And I don't think country would touch it, but we tried to southern it up a little bit with the fiddle, but it's pretty pop.
Well, that sounds like a whole lot of fun there.
Yeah. And
does the album have a title yet?
It does. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but I guess I will anyway. Called Daughter of a Gypsy.
Okay. So and a release date, maybe?
The release date, I believe, I think it's August 28th is what they're telling me. It's late August. Just say that.
Alrighty. And well, of course, everyone plans on touring. Do you know when you will begin touring?
Like with a specific person?
I guess, yes.
Well, I don't know about that yet, but I am going, let's see, think about this. I do a radio tour. That's what I'm starting to do, is a radio tour.
Okay.
And I'm going to be just going different cities, for the radio stations and performing and that sort of thing. And it's going to be on my website of where you can catch me. But an actual, big tour, I'm not sure when I'm going to do that, but hopefully soon. There's a couple people I have in mind that I really would love to go out with Lady Antebellum or Keith Urban or something like that, or Taylor Swift, but we're not sure yet.
Yeah, that would be a perfect fit. Now, I have a couple fan questions to ask of you. I'm just letting you know now, you have fans all around the world. I've gotten comments and questions.
That was my alarm. Sorry. Go ahead.
You have fans, everywhere. I've gotten comments and questions submitted in from Brazil, Venezuela, the UK, the Philippines, just about everywhere.
I have to be honest. I mean, the UK, that's wonderful, but I feel like a lot of my fans are kind of of the Spanish kind of culture in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know how it's so flattering, and I wonder. I mean, if a lot of people, I think from my label even know that I have fans from other countries like that. We just assume it's mostly in the, just kind of in the South or
mm-hmm.
a little up north, but that's so flattering.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, I feel. All right, so the first fan question comes from Jason from California, and he is wondering, what do you want fans to take from this record?
What do I want fans to take from this record?
Mm-hmm.
A good time, and I mean that. I want fans to... My whole goal in this record was to just have a good time, to dance, and feel good, and fall in love with me, because ever since I was single, a few months ago, or not a few months ago, almost half a year ago, even longer than that, my bad, I was dating new people and kind of rediscovering myself again, and so you can kind of do that on this album with me, and this is definitely a new diary for sure.
Yeah, sounds a little bit therapeutic as well.
It really was, but you know what? It's not sad. The first record, I'm not saying the first record was sad, but there was definitely a more sad tone to it. And I don't think it's because I was very happy in my personal life.
Yeah.
This time go around, I am as happy as it gets. I wake up smiling every day, and I think people will find that in this record.
Awesome. The next one actually fits in well perfectly. It's from Morgan, and she would like to know, what would you say is the best way to get over someone?
Well, for me, of course, writing music and writing songs. But the other thing is also, my mother is my best friend in the whole world, and so she helps me. She's helped me through a breakup. But if I were to give advice to somebody, I would definitely say, spend some time alone. Don't rush to any new relationships, or hang out with the people that really love you, your friends or your girlfriends, and find something that can distract you a little. Like, I paint as well. I love to paint, and I'll do that for hours, and by the time you know it, been a couple of days and I finished a painting, and as time goes by, you'll heal yourself. So find things that you love to do and distract yourself. Hang out with friends, hang out with mom. That's what I would say to do.
All right, that's great advice.